Hey, Brian Douglas here. This week's blog is about planning for the unexpected in your estate plan. And I know you're probably thinking that seems kind of oxymoronic, right? Because isn't estate planning all about planning for the unexpected? And frankly, you're right, it is. Because I always tell people, if I knew exactly what was going to happen to you, when or how it was going to happen, your plan would be very easy to do. The problem is we don't know what's going to happen. So where do you start planning for the unexpected when we don't know what to expect? Really, the first thing is to start with knowing the state laws and really understanding what the laws are, how the laws work, how the interplay happens between probate laws and different types of assets. And how you do that is working with the right people, like working with qualified, financial advisors, accountants, CPAs, and of course, estate planning attorneys. Because every day I deal with clients or I meet with clients that are prospective clients or have questions, and I find that they have a lot of misconceptions, right? It's very, not widely known, some of these things that I think are very common sense because of what I do and what I know. You may not understand that and you may think it's some other way. We have a case right now where there's, the probate's going forward and we didn't start it. We got into it. We started asking questions and there was a person listed in the probate petition as a spouse. So when we dug into that, we found out they were never legally married, but all the people and all the heirs, everybody signed off on this because they thought that Georgia had common law marriage and Georgia does not. So the petition and the probate itself is messed up and we've got to now fix it. We've got to undo all of this and it gets even more complicated because there's already been distributions made to that person as being an heir when they never should have gotten it. Like I have as much right as that person does to inherit from that estate. So anyway, the point is people don't know what they don't know, and the only way that you can figure that out is to have those conversations with the right people. Don't just Google things, don't find someone that's not a true professional that really does this work, because otherwise you're going to potentially walk into a pitfall. And then of course, you plan for the unexpected by having a really, really good subjective, comprehensive estate plan, meaning it's made for you. It's not a one-size-fits-all. It's not the same will that everybody does where they just change the names on it and they just move it along. And the reason I say that is, if you think of a plan like that, it's kind of like a train on the tracks, right? The train gets on the tracks and it can only go where those tracks take it. The train can't get off the tracks, it can't move left or right, it just has to keep going forward. So with a very subjective, specific estate plan to address your needs, you're going to build in options. And the reason options are important is because when we get down the road, when we get down those tracks per se, and there's something happens, we can stop and the option lets us go over here and go down this path, or go over here and go down this path. So options in an estate plan, if they're built properly and creatively, give you all the flexibility in the world so that when those issues happen, we get to stop, take a look at everything that's going on and say, what makes the most sense? Do we want to do this, that, or that? Otherwise, you're just powering straight through. So if you have more questions or want to learn more about planning for the unexpected in your estate plan, certainly check out this week's blog. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. We're always here to help. That's all we've got for this week, and we'll see you next week.